Iran, and he's aiming for a third Asian title at 92 kilos. Dalotbekov beaten in the semi-final 11-0, a near perfect performance. And Poyanov of Uzbekistan dusted off before that.
Representing India.
But you know what? Deepak Puneer of India might have the goods to trouble Firuzpur. It's his first ever year at 92 kilograms. He's been an Olympian at Tokyo in 2021. He's won 2 silvers and a bronze medal at Asian Championships at 86 kilograms. Is now the time for him to add that elusive third tint of metal and take the gold. What a matchup this is, Erica. Deepak Puneer of India in the blue. Amir Hossain Firuzpur of the Islamic Republic of Iran in the red. Powerful drag down from Puneer. Right side underhook in for Firuzpur.
You can see Firuzpur was swimming in his left underhook there. Double underhook in this position. He's rewarded with the 1 point for the step out of bounds. And again, that's that base. Digging in for the underhooks, dictating the pace. A nice little crossbody knee tap there from Puneer to disrupt that position.
Close again to the edge here. He'll have to go down onto his knees. And that avoids the step out point. He had a really good semi-final victory. Deepak Puneer, 8-1 over Takashi Suguro. Arm drag and snap downs were the way he set himself up for his takedowns. And he's urged again to get moving. Puneer, so the dictating of the tempo coming from the Iranian right in these first 2 minutes. Sprawling himself well again. There's a lot of calmness under fire because he's under a fair degree of pressure here, Puneer.
He is, and really there's no option other than just to meet that pressure and meet this moment. And he is doing a great job of making smart, tactical decisions in the zone, not giving up any of these push-up points despite this pressure. Here's a slight change of tactics from Firuzpur, gets rewarded with the takedown, snap, takedown, go behind. And there's an example of a really positive adjustment that was made. You know, 2 times he took him from the center out of bounds, and this time he met the pressure of Puneer, snapped, and got the easy go behind.
So Firuzpur gaining in confidence. $3-0 to Iran and to Amir Hossain Firuzpur. And at this weight class, it's always worth reminding ourselves that Cameron Gassenport will be Iran's #1. at 92 kilos. That's where he's been wrestling recently, and they have Firuzpur as well, who's looking for this third Asian title. Gessenmore can, of course, go up and down the weights, so options everywhere you look when things get to the heavier weights in Iranian wrestling. We've got Masumi to come tonight, later in the next category. Back to it here. So far this match has a familiar feel to the semi-final that Firuzpur won against Dalatbekov. Slow beginning, and then things started to run away from Dalatbekov. How does Panir change things around in this second round?
We saw him right then try to mix that pressure, change his levels on the attack, trying to get away from that pressure, and just cannot circle away. One more step out of bounds for Punia. You can see him almost time the reaching in of Firuzpur to drop underneath. That is how we often see successful attacks, but it's very difficult to do, and to have this onslaught of offense from Firuzpur. Not only gets a step out, but also the caution one for fleeing of the mat. There was just zero attempt there from Punia to circle out of bounds, just full 5 steps directly backwards, and that's what resulted in that decision. And just like you mentioned, Jack, we're seeing Firuzpur gain confidence every minute of this match, pick up the offense, and really dictate.
Close to the edge again, and why not take a point if it's on offer? Because sometimes we see a wrestler concede quite a few step-out points, and if you're watching at home, you might be thinking, well, don't just step out, but of course, it's more complex than that. I mean, it's testament to how good Firuzpur is, isn't it, that this is becoming his only option on the edge.
Yes, exactly. And anyone who says, why don't you just not step out of bounds? I challenge you to come into the center of the mat and feel the heavy pressure that we're seeing on display here. It is much more easier said than done. And that is why we have these athletes who really spend their entire lives preparing for these moments. And still, Dupak Punia, an Olympian, unable to withstand the pressure here of Firuzpur. A reminder from his coach, why did you stop? Continue out of bounds.
It was working so well.
And this is another example of, if something is working so well, why change a good thing? You know, if your opponent is not making any adjustments, is succumbing to this. So here's the action. This is a challenge from blue, from the Indian corner, testifying that there was points scored from Deepak Punia before there was this out of bounds with no action because of parterre established. And so you see there the technical error that Firuzpur made. He kind of pushes him out of bounds, goes to his knees, which is something that we hadn't seen in those previous points. And, you know, a minute left, he's up by 7. He's kind of like, I'm done here. And kind of doesn't stick to the foundations of what was making him so successful in those early points.
Challenge decision made B. There is a whistle before stepping outside, no points. Challenge lost.
The Indian challenge is thrown out. So an extra point for Firuzpur. 1:07 left to go in this gold medal contest. Position of great strength for Firuzpur now. That last-ditch attempt involving the trip from Punir, but Firuzpur catches him out again, and that's where things will end. He texts Deepak Punir. Amir Hussain Firuzpur wins his third Asian title. A 92 kilo, rock solid Iranian ball of muscle that won't be moved.